Scenario 6. July 20th of the current year, Bob meets with Constantine in his office. Unfortunately, the submission of receipts/invoices were not done this month. Back in June, Constantine stated that Amy successfully submitted receipts invoices timely, with the exception of a few. Both Constantine and Bob were fully aware of this through Amy's communication. Bob asked Constantine to see if Deborah is available to chat. Deborah comes into the office and states that Amy has failed to submit receipts/invoices for the consultants. In addition, Amy has not responded to any emails from Deborah and seems to have avoided her the last few business days. Bob thanks Deborah for her time. Bob shares with Constantine that Amy has been back to her shenanigans of taking extended lunches, but has not addressed it out of frustration. What should Bob do? Stop the course and take 5 minutes to reflect on the situation and come up with next steps. Scenario 6. Recommended intervention. Fact finding. Bob opens up the Progressive Discipline Guide and goes to the fact finding section of the manual. Emotions. Bob feels desensitized at the moment. Assumptions. He has none. Expectation/communication. Bob refers to the performance improvement plan where objectives were specified. Obstacles. None at the moment. Intervention. Termination. Bob refers to the pre-meeting termination checklist. Bob follows the termination script. Next, we will be reviewing the termination script. Here is the termination script that has been slightly modified for this purpose of terminating our employee Amy. Manager, in this case, that's Bob. Hello, Amy. I have asked Constantine to be present for this meeting. Whoever is your HR person or witness will also say hello. In this case, it's Constantine. He says, hello, Amy. Now, here is the meat and potatoes of the termination script, which is this upcoming paragraph. We have called you into this meeting to discuss your employment with our organization. There have been performance issues that we have addressed over the course of, and then you state the number of weeks or months when the performance issues began. In this case, this has occurred since February. You were placed on formal disciplinary steps on, and this is where you would indicate when the dates the employee has been formally placed on formal interventions, indicate the dates, and then you would state, unfortunately, the performance issues have not been corrected and we have to terminate your employment. Today will be your last day. Human resources will have some things to say, but we wanted to ask you if there's anything you wanted to say. So here is where you give the employee the opportunity to speak. It should be brief. You are not giving them 10 minutes to go on a rant. You just want to see if they have something to say. And oftentimes, as managers, we have to bring them back to the point of the conversation that today is your last day. And when you make a termination decision, typically it's not reversed. Now, here's where we have human resources, or in some cases, if you don't have an HR department, it might be you as the manager giving some essential information. For example, your company's policy on references, which hopefully is the organization will give a neutral reference, dates of employment, and title only. The next part of the HR conversation is informing the employee about COBRA, the end dates, for example, if they're currently on medical and dental coverage, when that will end, and then afterward informing the employee that they can go on COBRA, in which they have to pay 100% of the premiums. If the employee is on a 403B or any kind of pension plan, you will give information about how they can access their pension and potentially roll over any funds. Then your HR person will say, "Do you have any questions for me?" You will allow the employee to ask any questions they have about any of the previously mentioned benefits. After that occurs, the manager will take the terminated employee to their workstation, work area to collect any belongings.